Hey everyone, thank you for joining me. I am your host, Yandea, and thank you for joining us for another episode of Love Story. I am super excited, so excited because I just know today you are going to hear something amazing. Today you are going to hear something great. I can't wait to introduce to you our special guest tonight. Um, I call her Kimmie, and so will you. Okay. Kimmie is here tonight with us. And Kimmie, just say hello, but I want to tell them a little bit about how you ended up coming on tonight. So introduce yourself and then I'll fill them in.
Hi, everybody. Blessings. My name's Kimmie. I'm a mother of four, a grandmother of three. Um, I met Yandea through a lovely friend, another Kim, which we'll probably talk about later on. And she's been a blessing in my life. So thank you for having me today.
You are so welcome. Well, the thing about it is that today, here's the story of how Kimmie came on today. First of all, it's been a while, actually. I think it was shortly after our mutual friend, Kim, who actually people on here would know her as Taslim if they watch any of the other videos. She went by Taslim, but we met through Taz. And I remember after Taslim transitioned, I was talking to you about the love story because she was on the love story. And you said, yeah, I'll come on sometime. Right. And then life happened, it's like life happened. And then today I was supposed to have someone else on. And then that ended up being rescheduled. And I was saying to Dwayne, who I know you've met Dwayne before, and I was saying to him, you know what, bro? I don't feel like, you know, reaching out and really calling anyone because I just don't feel like, in that vibe today. And I said, maybe I'll just get on and answer whatever questions or whatever people have, but I don't feel like calling anyone. And and then while I was talking to him, you called me. You called me and you're like, what's up? And I just told you, like, oh, I was talking to Dwayne about, because it's someone rescheduled, and so now I got to find someone to come up on the show. And you're like, me.
I'll do
And I'm like,
it.
what? It's tonight. Are you sure? You're like, yeah.
No problem.
And I just thought, I was just like, God is so good because I just was like, nah, I know that there's people who reached out to me, but I just don't feel like having to call anyone. And so it was just beautiful to have that happen that way. So I know that because it's been a while. I mean, when is the last time we had a phone call? It's been a while.
Probably January time around there.
Yeah. And then today you just felt like calling me.
But I was actually driving by my son's. I went to go visit him at the grave site and
Yeah.
popped into my mind.
Wow.
In fact, you popped into my mind before going there. And I think because of that made me go to his grave site, actually. And then
Mm-hmm.
after I was done, I thought, let me give you a call and see what's up. But I think of you often, actually.
Oh yeah, same here. Same here.
Mhm.
Definitely same here. We have walks to go on. There's a lot that I gotta fill you in on. A lot of good stuff. So but it's just so cool the way how we're on here today.
It is.
But I was thinking while I was getting ready, I was thinking it's amazing that there was something you had said to me about ice cream. I don't want to say it. Do you remember that quote you gave me about ice cream?
Yeah. So I tell this to the kids all the time. Life is like ice cream. You get that ice cream and you might have put in caramel on it, and then you start eating it and enjoying it, and then it passes through you. Well, you can't turn around and start wishing and saying, well, I should have done this to my ice cream, or I should have put nuts on the ice cream. No, it's over, it's done with, it's passed through, right? It's flushed. Now
Yep,
go forward to, and you think about the next ice cream you're going to have and you design it the way you want.
that's right.
What life is. I mean, you can't look backwards.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
gonna have you stuck.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that is it's such a simple thing because like you, I have children, and that's exactly this. Like, listen, you had the freedom. You could have put sprinkles, you could have put whatever you wanted. You chose not to. And so don't cry about it. Just know next time I'm gonna take the opportunity to put sprinkles or whatever, you know what I mean? Chips, whatever, chocolate chips or whatever you want to put on it. That's the lesson, right? It's like you if you miss something, just learn from it and ensure that next time that opportunity comes around, you do with it all that um you know all that you'd want to do. So
Well,
I always think of that whenever I eat ice cream. I'm like, I remember Kimmie's.
yeah, I tell the kids, I tell people all the time, and it goes with any area of life. Like we've all, as women, we've gone through things in our past that,
Yes,
we become traumatized over, and you can choose to allow that to, um, you know, to define your life,
exactly.
right? But if
Yeah,
you treat your past like an ice cream cone and realize that you can't change it, right?
yeah,
And it's a mindset that you have to have in order to move forward. And
that's right.
obviously have your faith wherever that is,
Yes.
a strong faith. But I find a lot of people are stuck there
Mm-hmm.
with that old ice cream, looking back at that ice cream, and
Still crying over it.
yeah, and they're paying all kind of money. It's residual income, as far as I'm concerned, to some of those
Yeah,
professions.
yeah,
But some people do need it. Don't get me wrong. But there are
yeah,
others that they are
yeah.
stuck there, and they you got to realize that there is nothing you can do to change that.
That's right. That's right. Um, you just went all the way in there. Like, already we're starting, and 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 you're hitting it. But I want to first of all say hi to some people who are on. I see Patricia is on and Dwayne are on. Hi guys, how are you doing? Um, thank you for joining us. Dwayne says, "Hey Kimmie."
Hi, darling.
Yeah, and Patricia said, "Awesome. I knew you'd get someone." She's gonna be on. She's gonna be on soon. Actually, it's right before I spoke to Dwayne, I spoke to her and I said to her, I said, sis, I don't feel like calling anybody. Like, I just feel like, I don't know, maybe I'm not supposed to do this today. I don't know. I feel like I'm supposed to, but I don't feel like reaching out to anyone. And I had been for the past few days, I've been finishing up a course, and it just kind of took my time and energy, and I didn't get a chance to confirm with anybody as a backup, you know? And so, yeah, it just happened that way. And so she said to me, make one more call, sis. She says, just one more, try one more time. And I was just like, no, I don't even feel like trying one time. So that's what I was telling Dwayne. And then you called and I'm like, oh, what? I said, hold on, Kimmie's calling. I said, actually, bro, let me call you back. And then that was it. So we had our little catch up, and then here we are. But you have such I was thinking while I was getting ready after I got off the phone with you, I was like, wow, I wonder which way she'll share today. Because she has so much to share about love, about life. And it's just like, well, I'm always open to doing a part two, a part three, a part four. So don't feel like you have to necessarily choose one over the other. If you want to share it all, we can. We just have to break it up into parts. But I'm going to start off with this question. How has love rescued you out of darkness? Has love ever saved you from a dark time?
Oh my gosh. I think the love of God, if I didn't have him, I mean, I have to give credit to him and the love that I feel for myself. But outside of that, I've been so blessed with such amazing people in my life. Taz, for one.
Taz, yeah.
There's been Jules, there's Marcia, there's been quite a few people that have come and gone into my life, but have been there at the most important times. And also the man that I'm with now, he's been a
Look
really,
at a smile.
yeah, and he's been great. And my kids, okay,
Yes.
so
Yeah.
they've been my strength. So I don't know where you want me to start,
Well,
but
let's start with where you started. You started off and you said God. So how does the love of God manifest in your life? What does that mean when you say God? Like how, first of all, what do you call God? And when you say God, what do you mean by that? And what does the love of God look like in your life? And how has that, you know, how has that been an important part of your journey thus far?
well, I do have a strong faith in God.
Mhm.
I do not go to church, but I do believe strongly that there is a higher power. I'm
Sure.
struggling with what I should be calling him because, there's so many different words for him, and the translation. I
Yes.
have a problem with the trans. I think I spoke to you about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why do we call him this when
Right.
it's the translated version? So right now, we'll just call him God and
Yeah.
Jesus Father. Um, he's just been there for me. Like I really don't know how I would have been able to get thus far. I think I would be in a straitjacket. I think,
Facts.
and
Yes.
just so people can
Mhm.
have a little context. At 48 years old, my husband of 21 years, or my common law, died at my feet in our bedroom, and my son and I, we tried to resuscitate him with no luck. Um,
Mhm.
and then I lost a son in 2021.
Yeah.
And then in 2024, my last child was in a life threatening motorcycle accident.
Yeah.
And then, of course, then Taz passed.
Yes.
So there's been just this
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
the last few years.
Mhm.
Um, so he's been by my side. I really can't say more than that, that I just trust that I believe that there is a higher power,
Yeah.
and that he's guided me and protected me thus far,
Yeah.
you know, and he's put living earth angels in my path,
Yes.
to help me. And he's allowed me to be strong. And I look at it as if, you know what, everybody we love are just on the other side of that curtain.
That's it. Yes.
And we're just passing through,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I love that. I love it. Um, as you were talking about your hubby who passed and your son, it made me remember one of our, like, we've had so many magical, mystical encounters, wow. Like I think back and I could share the story if you're okay with me sharing the story of how I met you. So I was having one of my retreats. I don't remember what that one was about actually.
The coloring, it was the book. Straight.
The one of the with the neurographica.
Yeah.
Maybe that was about the mind. I can't remember the theme of the retreat at the time. But but Taslim brought you to the retreat. And I remember that that was the retreat where I was saying, when I was driving home, I remember I was driving home and I had this open vision as my husband, we were driving down the street, our street, and I just saw in front of me, I saw people on the other side. And I saw that they were all like coming together. And it's like I was aware of what they were doing. And I could see that it's like there was a mandate where they were to try to get the people who are still here on earth that they love, to get messages to them to come out, right? To the retreat. And so I said to my husband, wow, like this is actually really whatever is happening here. People who come this year, they're not just, it's not a by chance thing or whatever. Like they're actually being helped from the other side. They're being given signs and all these different things are happening to guide them here for whatever messages that they're supposed to get. And I had shared that with my counsel, right, of what I had seen. And so when the time of the retreat came, different people came, new people I didn't even know. A lot of people came who were brand new people. And you were one of those people. And I remember after the retreat was done, you came to me. Taz, I guess, wanted to formally introduce us again or something before you left. And you were like, you know, my husband who had passed, came to me in a dream. I'm not going to say your whole dream, but came to you in a dream and he showed you whatever, 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 and you're like, he brought me here. Remember that?
Mm-hmm. I
Yeah.
actually I think that was the time that I also tell you I had a dream with my son
With
and
your
him.
son and him. Yes, yes,
I
yes, yes, yeah.
remember this dream like till to today, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And I have no problem sharing that dream. So in my dream, I knew it was my husband, but he was kind of in the background. And
yeah,
I'm telling them how I met somebody. And he was okay with that. He was having me pack some bags. You know?
yeah,
And then later on in the dream, I was at I guess it was like a clinic, but I was in Ajax.
yeah.
And I had parked my car and I couldn't find my car and I was
That's right.
panicking and panicking and everything and couldn't find the car. I ended up getting on a bus and I stopped in front of what looked like Falby Court. If anybody knows Ajax, there's buildings that are called Falby Court, but it was designed differently. So right inside it, you go in, it's like a laundromat. That's not what the building
That's not
looks,
what it, yeah,
but
yeah.
that's exactly
In
in
the
my
dream.
I stopped, right? Because this clinic or hospital was right across the street from there. And I don't know why I got on the bus to go a few stops. I get off, I go inside there, and my son, who is no longer present with us, walks in and he's like, and I hug him and I could feel him. I could smell him. I could, like, it was like completely physical, all my
Yeah.
senses. And he's
Where,
like,
yes.
I got you, mama, He's like, don't worry, I got you, mama, because he always called me, he's the only one out of my kids that calls me
Oh,
mom.
your mama.
Mhm. So, yeah. And then I woke up from that dream. I just had this, I was bawling, you know.
Yeah.
I sent a message to Keith, which is my current boyfriend, and I've been searching for that message. It's a video note, so it's not, in all there because it's just raw. It was exactly,
Yeah.
and I told you about that,
Yeah.
and you had said to me that my late husband approved.
Of course.
Like he was
100%.
telling you, like, go on and live your,
Yeah. Yeah.
and yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. Definitely. Definitely. It's so powerful and a
Oh,
lot.
I forgot. It
Yeah.
was part of that dream. I forgot to mention. I actually had called my mom, and I think I haven't spoken to my mom
That's right.
since my husband passed. And I had called her, and like always, she said, "I'll be right there."
Yeah.
So she was also part of that dream,
Okay.
just a
Yeah.
phone call.
Yeah. 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 And there was more to that. There's a lot more to that to that dream.
Oh
But
yeah.
yeah, but it's amazing because I think it was Taz ended up I can't remember. I think it was Taz ended up telling you about the retreat. And and then you came, and then when you came I was able to get, the message and so on, and give to you and all of that. But I just think it's amazing because when I said it to you, like, I know he came. He told he told me, so I think that's important because there is a scripture that says that, God speaks to us through dreams and visions.
Mhm.
And when you're talking about the love of God and what are some ways that God has showed up in your life, that's one of the ways that Most High speaks to us, right? Through dreams and visions. And
Mhm.
so like me getting that vision to know that, hey, there's people on the other side communicating with people here in order to help them and to lead them. And when they come, you know, I will be able to be equipped to assist them on their journey in this world,
Mhm.
right? And then so for you to come and to share that, right? It's just, and this stuff happens all the time, and it's not, you don't have to be somebody special, for it to happen to this. It's just open. If you have an open heart, if you
Mhm.
have an open mind, if you're not trying to restrict and tell Most High how to lead and guide you, you
Mhm.
know what I mean? Yeah, but that scripture, I always remember that scripture, right? God speaks to us through dreams and visions. And so we can ask that. We could say, you know what, Most High, can you give me a dream or a vision, something to help me direct my path, or whatever the case is. And when you ask, don't doubt that you will receive it, right? Whatever you ask, you need to believe that the answer is yes and amen. Obviously, you're asking something that's in accordance with the will of Most High, and not just something that's selfish, you know, all to, all to yourself, right? Because,
Right.
that's a key thing, right? Some
Yeah,
people wonder, like, I've been praying for this all the time. Well, the question is, who else is it benefiting?
that's right. I had this conversation with somebody. I'm like, you know, just because you want it doesn't mean you're gonna get it, right?
Yeah.
And then I said,
Yeah.
how many times are you gonna pray for something? If like if you're praying to Heavenly Father and He knows what is for you,
Yeah.
I think once is enough.
You
That's my
know,
thing. How many times if you keep doing every single day for
yeah.
years on end,
Yeah.
I'm thinking maybe that's not for you, and you have to
Yeah.
be able to accept that.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm a firm believer in ask once. And after you ask once, the rest of the prayer is just maybe you asking for strength to stand in the belief of what you've asked for.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes you ask for something, you declare something, and life will hit you hard. You know what I mean? It's like the total opposite of what you're asking for seems like it's starting to manifest. And so
Mm-hmm.
what you need is to not ask for that thing anymore. You've already asked. Maybe you need to ask for an increase of faith. Maybe you need to ask for, just that your mind would stay focused and not be distracted, that you wouldn't become a doubter. You know what I'm saying? All of these are things that you could pray for. But to ask for the same thing over and over again, all it means is that the first time you asked, you don't believe it was received. You don't believe it was heard.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just think, if my children, hey mom, can I have some ice cream? If I give your response and you come back again, and what would my response be?
Didn't
If
I
you
tell
know,
you?
if,
Yeah.
if you know, right?
Yeah.
My response is either going to be yes, no, or not yet.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Yes, no, or not yet. So if you're asking me for something that I want to give you, my answer is yes. If you know that, you know what, I'm going to ask mom for some whatever she just cooked for dinner. You ask, the answer is going to be yes. You ask me for ice cream at breakfast time. Maybe the answer might be no.
That's right.
Right? You ask for that lunchtime, it might be a maybe, right? So there's certain things that we know, if it's in accordance to the will of Most High, we can ask for it and we know the answer is yes.
Mm-hmm.
Why ask again and again and again and again?
I
That
get.
just means you don't think Most High heard you the first time,
Mm-hmm.
or you don't believe in, you don't believe that you had maybe enough faith when you first asked. By all means, ask again if you don't think you were in the right mindset when you asked. But that always bothers me, when people just want to pray over the same thing, or I'm like, I asked already and it's done.
Yeah.
You
Me
know what I
too.
mean?
Yeah.
One time and that's it. So I see that there's some comments happening. um Raw Homemade says, hello, Raw Homemade. And I love your lives. I was just watching on repeat your last live. Oh wow. Keep shining, Yandea. The world needs you. Whoa, that's so sweet.
Is
And then, oh, Dwayne says, oh wow, give thanks, beloved. I know Yandea would definitely appreciate you saying that. Absolutely. I love love. I love giving love. I love receiving love. So the thing is, I pray for everybody who would come upon my lives and my videos. It's a very serious thing to me. I'm sharing myself, sharing my heart and everything openly. And when people receive that love, it means a lot to me, right? Who just pours out water and for, nothing, right? You want someone to benefit from it. And when I get comments like that, I really love receiving it. I receive all your love. Thank you so much. So sis, okay, so we covered Most High. So tell me, how do you love yourself? Because you said love for yourself, right? What does that look like?
well, that's a hard one because I often it's self doubt, right? But you really have to. talk to yourself and talk yourself
Yeah.
out of it.
Yeah.
I really think that if I didn't have love for myself and God and the children, you know, I wouldn't be here today.
Yes. Yeah.
Um, I don't always have the answers. Like I said, I know I must love myself, otherwise I wouldn't be here, right? And I have
Facts.
so much love to give. And like I said, there are people out there I can imagine I like that just either go into a bad place or get on drugs. Like I remember when I lost my son, somebody who was dating a doctor, a psychiatrist, um, she didn't even know me. She wrote me prescriptions and he brought
Hmm.
them to me. And I said,
Hmm.
taking these. He says, "Oh, you're gonna need it. You're not gonna be able to do it." And I'm like, no, I had enough love, for example, for myself,
Yes.
no better not to
Yes.
take these pills. I did not take one.
Yes. Good.
I needed to be present in the pain.
Yes. Wow. Ooh. Wait, wait, wait. Oh, oh, pause. I know you're not going to forget what you're saying, but you just said something so amazing, and we need to slow that down. You said you refused to take the medication, which really was going to numb you,
Yeah,
right? Because you knew that you had to be present in the pain.
yeah.
Girl, let me tell you that, woo, because I was talking with Dwayne on our last live, and we were talking about like literally that, like not running from things, things you may fear, right? Not running from it, but being able to face it, being able to, the only way to write your story is to not run from it. You see what I'm saying? You can't run from it. You got to be present to write it. And
That's
so
right.
you saying being present you chose to.
Yeah.
Tell us where that came from. Were you always like that? Like, why did you know that you had to be present in the pain?
I don't know. Like I said, it just kind of just like certain things in my life, it just comes to me, you
Yeah.
know. I and I have to thank God and believe that it's God that is putting
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
in
Facts.
space.
Yeah.
For crying out loud, when you witness uh, the love of your life for 21 years die, and then you have a child, and Dre was out of all my children, Dre is the one that, and it was the same way with my own father. It was the same kind of connection. Like I could be in some other town out in Timbuktu, and I could feel that he was there, and
Yeah.
he could feel me, and
Yeah.
we'd
You
be
get that
like, and then
connection.
we connect, and like, oh my gosh, there you are, And so when you have any child die on you, you want to numb that,
Of
especially
course.
because Andre was in 2018, and just only a few years later, now it was Dre in
Yeah.
2021. And
Wow.
a
So
lot of
close.
people would like to numb that. That's not an
Yeah.
easy, and being that it
No.
was COVID and the situation circling around it,
Mhm.
when it was COVID, they would not tell me where he was.
Wow.
So I didn't know what hospital he was in so that I can advocate for him.
Wow.
So that,
That's so,
and then I
yeah.
had all those other things like other outside evil people, spirits attacking me at that time, while I was trying to bury my son. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, no, I just knew that I couldn't self medicate, you know, because at some point I'm going to have to feel it.
Yes. Wow.
Or what's going to happen is I'm going to continue to self medicate.
Yeah, that's it. Because why would you ever stop, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why would
Who
you ever?
wants to feel
Yeah.
when something out there that can make you feel numb?
Yes.
Why would I? And if I did something like that, why would I want to feel? You know what I mean? Because that's not an easy thing. And I've had friends in life that have suffered from drugs, and I've seen what it's done to them.
Yeah.
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 So
Yeah.
I think God was just like walking real close to me.
You know, that the last episode that we did, it was about peace or numbness. That's what it was called, peace
But,
or numbness.
but you can't have peace with
You
numbness.
can't. That's exactly.
No.
You cannot have peace with numbness. You have to be able to peace you can have with truth.
Yeah.
And when you said I have to sit, I have to feel it, be in that pain, because you're willing to be truthful in the reality of your situation. I lost my husband, 21 years married, love of my life. Few years later, my son, your oldest son, right?
No.
Was he
He
the young was he
second
your oldest at the
youngest.
time or the
No, he was the second youngest.
he was the second youngest.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he
Right?
was the second youngest. Yeah.
The
And
middle.
you want to hear something strange about that. And I always tell people this, like once the calmness sets in, you can start to see things that you might not have been able to see during that
Yeah.
time.
Yep.
The number 21 keeps showing up in that. Andre, 21 years together.
Yeah.
My son died in 2021. He was 21 years old.
Wow.
He had
Yeah.
sevens on his tattooed on his
Yes. Yes.
21. And then I realized just the other day, I have an Instagram site and it just dawned on me. It has, Kim Pie
Yeah.
score 21. I had no idea.
21s. Yeah.
Dawned on me the other day, this 21 keeps
Yeah.
coming up. These
Yeah.
numbers.
Yes. Well, that's the thing, right? It's the signs all over, you
Yeah.
know. Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
need, but you do need to feel the pain. You need to be able to feel.
Feel. Yes.
This world is full of pain, right? And it's just, I just believe we're all have our own journey, and that just happens to be mine.
Yeah. Yeah.
My son had his, and I have to remind myself that again, whatever happened with him was his journey.
Yeah. Yeah. So beautiful.
Yeah. And my husband, it was, well, he always said he wasn't going to live to the age of 50, believe it or not.
Yeah. He knew.
He knew. It was, he, years ago, he said, Kim, if anything should happen to me, do not resuscitate. And he always said he wasn't going to live till 50.
Yeah.
And just months before he passed, he was getting things together. Like he had the flu. That's how he died. He didn't have cancer or anything. We did not know he was going to die.
Yeah.
And so he would put things around the house, and I'd look at him. He said, "Don't," basically not to question it.
Yeah.
Then about a couple months before he died, he brought it up again. Kim, if anything happens to me, do not.
Wow.
And I said, I won't. And he had tears in his eyes and called me a liar. So the day he did pass, we were trying to resuscitate. We
Oh,
called 911. The ambulance people couldn't wake up the building manager to get to the elevator to put it on.
see?
And so they finally got him up. The elevator came upstairs. Andre was wedged under the bed. They couldn't pull him out. They got him in the stretcher. All of a sudden, the stretcher would not fit in the elevator. Like he was really in
Yeah.
control.
Knocking that. Yeah.
And you asked before about my love story. Several months later, I meet Keith, right?
Yeah.
He comes into my life and he just allows me to cry.
Mm.
He allows me to go through everything. And a lot of people don't know how to be with people like widows. I've lost friends
Yeah.
because of the pain, right? But
Wow.
he allowed me to feel, and he would
Yeah.
sit with me. And believe it or not, he cried with me,
Oh my gosh.
thoughts and all. It's so beautiful. But yeah, and so he was part of that love story, that really allowed me to still love, but love openly for Andre, and still know that there is still more love and that I can
That
share
is
my
so
heart,
beautiful.
right?
That is so for anyone who didn't catch that, for anyone who didn't catch that, her husband of 21 years passes away. He already gave her, hey, he already knew. He knew. Some of us know, right? He knew. He let her know that, you know what, don't resuscitate me. And basically, when he does pass away, it was like in your bedroom, right?
Yeah.
And when he does pass away, they try to resuscitate him. It ain't gonna work. The ambulance they can't get upstairs to get him. The stretcher can't, he's under the bed. They can't, all of this stuff is happening, obviously, because he is not, it's not happening. He is not trying to be resuscitated. He is gone. No one's intervening here, right?
Yeah.
And so it's so beautiful because when our loved ones or Most High in any way gives us a heads up about what's about to happen to us, I mean, that's so much love. You know what I mean? It's like, heads up, this is coming. You know what I mean? So it doesn't hit you with that same sort of, force that could have possibly, really taken us out, if we didn't have that heads up. And so I
Oh, it
love,
took me out. It hurt.
oh no one is saying it didn't hurt, but I mean, you know what I mean when I say
Yeah.
take out, you know what I mean? Some people the heartbreak literally takes them out. They literally cannot stay here anymore, and so, or choose not to, right? Because of the pain. You were willing to feel the pain and stay.
Yeah.
You understand? And so the beautiful thing is that we're talking about the people who surrounded you to love you. Yes, you lost some friends because they could not stay in there with you. They couldn't hold that so-called space for you. But you met this man who is your boyfriend, fiance, husband.
Yeah.
Come in, right? But it's been it's
Absolutely.
been it's been a while now, right? Like it's been
Yeah.
a good while now that you guys have been together. And he was the one who was able to hold that space for you and even cry with you
Yeah.
at the loss of your husband. And what I like about him is that he doesn't ask you to deny the love you once had.
No,
You
he
see what I'm saying?
never felt bad for bringing him up
Mm-hmm.
conversation. And he always said, you could talk about him, it's okay. The kids, he was part of your life. He still will be a part of your life.
Yeah.
And he always welcomed it. And
Mm.
I mean, God put an amazing person in front of me.
Amazing. Amazing.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
And he's
That's what love looks like. You understand? Like love isn't selfish. Love isn't afraid. Love isn't insecure.
Oh no, a lot of people would be. And the funny thing is I'll never forget like the comments I would get for having somebody or even loving myself. Like,
Yeah.
so when it came to, I remember one time I was at a La Sanza, it's a lingerie store,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I like to pamper myself. And this
Yeah.
was maybe a couple of weeks or whatever after my husband passed away. And they were like, well, what are you doing here? I said, well, what do you mean? What am I doing here? I'm buying, the obvious. But all of a sudden, like, oh my gosh, they're thinking that, and I'm like, no, I buy for
For
me. I
yourself.
love me.
Yeah.
I'm not putting Giant Tiger and Walmart on me. This was just a natural thing for me to go to the store, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But all of a sudden, like the frowns, or
Wow.
no, I had some family members when I was talking about Keith, in the beginning, they were like, "Oh, him," because they were so in love themselves with my husband
Yeah.
that they just couldn't find room for anybody else. And I had to actually separate myself from that,
Yeah.
you know?
Can you imagine? It's like it's your husband. You're the one who lost him, and here are people like unwilling to support you in, being able to love again or
Yeah.
receive the love of someone else, right?
Well, they
That's
put these time restraints on people when
yeah,
they lose people, right? And
yeah.
it's like, all of a sudden, what is it? Some places people don't think 6 years, 3 years, like they put the time on it. And I just allowed my heart and, to guide me And when I first met Keith, believe it or not, I met him online. And then we spoke, but he just had such a calm, it just calms me. His presence
Yeah.
calmed me. And so no, I didn't allow anybody to interfere. And I understood where their feelings were coming from. You know, it was natural.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I didn't let them dictate my
Right.
story,
Right.
right? Because I deserve to love again.
Yes.
Now,
Yeah.
explained it doesn't mean that I stopped loving this man of 21 years. I
Of
just
course.
have to have room to love again and
Yes. Yeah.
space in my heart for that, right?
Yeah. And the fact that he knew that he was going, and the fact that he told you, do not try to resuscitate me. He's out. Like I could tell you when for me, when I had gone through my experience, I was like, hey, to my husband, pray. You stay over here, you pray. When I go on the other side, let's ask for this. We're gonna ask God for the same thing, to send me back. You know what I mean? So I can say very clearly, I wasn't going to be telling my husband, don't resuscitate me. if that was a thing, I didn't have to go through that. But when someone says, do not resuscitate me, and they're already planned, he already knew that
Oh,
he was going to go, and he did not want you to do anything to intervene in him, you know, intervene for him in any way,
no,
right?
no,
Yeah. And I understand now even more, like with those people, because I never knew this part of the story, right? But with the message that he had given to me about agreeing and supporting you in you moving forward, that just makes so much sense now after I'm now hearing this part of it. Yeah.
yeah,
I see why he had to come through and give you that, like, and you know, that's not the first time. This has happened before, where somebody, their husband, beautiful love story, and their husband transitioned. And actually, one of the ways that I became very close to her was the same thing. We're having a call, and he showed up, and he showed up and gave the same message to her. And I didn't know her story. I didn't know anything. You know what I mean? And I could feel the love that this man has, not had, has for his wife who's still on earth.
yeah,
And he's saying to her, I want you to live. I want you to live. That's what he's saying to her. I want you to live. I want you to love, you know? And that's the first time I ever felt that, you know? And so I know that it is very possible that husbands can transition and have a strong desire for their wives to be protected, you know, be loved, be provided for, have a friend, have a confidant, like everything that they were providing for their wives. Why would they? And this goes both ways. I just never experienced a wife, you know, but I've experienced husbands saying that to their partners, you know, who are still here. I want you to love. I want you to be protected. I want you to be in that way. And it only makes sense that if he was such a good husband while he was here, providing that for you, giving that to you, it would only make sense that if he were not there anymore, that he would still want you to have that, you know?
yeah,
Only makes, that's when we're talking about love. People think like love is possession. Love is not. Love is not possession, right? Love is deciding, right? Love is, yes, making a choice. Two people make a choice how they want to live together and whatever. But that idea of that we have is a very tainted idea of love. Is because we cannot see past our own noses. Like we cannot see past our own self, you know, to say what's really the best for that person. I love them so much. I want to give them the best.
mm-hmm,
And if I'm around, I can give them the best. But what if I'm not? I still want them to have the best,
mm-hmm.
you know? So I love your story. I love it so much. And I know your son, the one who had the motorcycle accident, he's okay. He did well. I know there's a miracle story in that too.
Oh my goodness. The one thing I tell you about that is when he flew off the motorcycle, he saw a person walking towards him, but he can't see. And
Perfect.
the only thing he remembers, he passed out, but he was on a street where there was no cameras, nobody would drive there, and here comes this person. Like the doctor says, he should not have lived.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he's been very much been blessed. I think, somebody was looking out for him, and
Of
he
course.
had so much to do on this earth. But yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm like,
And
oh,
he healed up very fast.
he's still going through his healing.
Yeah.
He too refuses medication. He just so everybody knows, he had to go in for emergency heart surgery. He had torn his aorta. He had a collapsed esophagus. He had
Oh, boy.
both lungs, broken his ribs, damage to his kidneys, bowels, liver, shattered pelvis, and then the muscle in his right leg was detached from his bone.
Yeah.
When he was in the hospital, they were giving him obviously morphine, and he was pressing it, and they came out and they said, "Sir, are you all right? You pressed it 20 times." And he says, 20 times? He says, "I don't feel it. It's not working." He says, "I don't want it. Take it away." And from that, he didn't use it. They took the hose out of his lungs to drain the blood. They took it out, but they realized they shouldn't have, and they didn't have time to freeze him. So they cut into him another hole, cut into his lungs, held it open with fingers, and he did it without any
Wow.
painkillers.
Yeah.
He's doing very well. I mean, he has to go in to get some screws out and stuff like that. But yeah,
Yeah. I saw him at the
yeah.
celebration of life for
Yeah.
Taz, and I was like, wow, he had like a little crutch thing or whatever walking, but I'm like, this guy's looking great.
He had no exterior injury.
No, yeah, nothing. He looks good. And he had his little thing walking, like his little, was it like a crutch? A little
It's
crutch?
a cane that opened
A
up into
little,
a chair.
okay, yeah. And I was just like, did you really just go through all of that? Because you were looking good. He
Yeah,
looks really good. Yeah. And he's so handsome too.
I did that. I did it by myself, but I did it.
Yeah, your children are all beautiful. Your children are all so beautiful. Very beautiful children.
No, like I said, I think, a love story. I am my love story. You
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. I agree 100%. And I think anybody who meets you, right, they feel that I will tell you something. I don't care. I will say it. At Taslim's funeral, at her funeral, um, I listened to people talk. I did. I listened to people talk. I didn't go up to talk. But I'm not the only one who's saying this. You were the only person who spoke that made us feel Taz, that made us feel love, that made us feel the friendship, that made us feel literal, like the connection that you guys had. You spoke about Taz and I felt Taz through you. I felt her presence, you know, and we laughed at the things you shared. It was just, I said to my family, I said to them, listen, when I pass, right? Y'all got me, I came back. But next time I go, I might not come back. So, hey, you see Kimmie right there? I want Kimmie to talk at my funeral.
know?
I want what if you have to pay Kimmie to talk? Kimmie has to be a feature at my funeral. I need Kimmie to talk. She could all do karaoke, whatever. But I'm like, I remember that joke you gave about karaoke at the funeral. But I was like, no, no, no. I need Kimmie to talk at my funeral. That's it. If we have to remain friends forever, just for that purpose. Numbers change, you move, it doesn't matter. Make sure I have that number because I'm like, hey, I'm putting you down. I will do the eulogy myself. I'm putting it down right here. Kimmie is speaking. Make her what? Maybe third on the list. My husband, my children, then Kimmie.
Well, it's important that you talk about the love that people shared.
Yes.
you can't focus, and I tell the kids all the time, we cannot focus on the exit because
Right.
there are more than that.
Yes.
Brother was more than the exit. So, we don't sit around and think about that day, that he transitioned.
Yeah.
My husband was more than his exit.
That's right. That is right.
He had all these years, both of them. They both had 21 years in our lives.
Yes. Yeah. That's something, eh? Yeah.
There is so much of a story. It's
Yeah.
not just this one
Yeah.
little area.
Yeah.
And I said, if you want to focus on his exit, and I told the kids, because they couldn't understand that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they wanted me to fight, fight, fight. And and speaking to the police and all kinds of stuff and the lawyers and
Yeah.
they want, and even with Andre, everybody wants to fight the hospitals, fight everybody. And I said, if you want me to focus on his exit, on their exit, you're not going to have the mother you see right now
That's right. That's right.
because I'll be stuck in there. And because like ice cream, we just stuff happens. You just got to keep going
Yeah.
because we're not promised to be here forever. Everybody has a story. Everybody has their own. I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe everybody decides before they come here what experience they're wanting to have in life.
Yeah.
And when they get that experience, it's time for them to go. And that is my belief.
Yeah.
People will argue, but that's okay.
Yeah.
It gets me where I gotta go,
That's
right?
right. That's it. That's it. It gets you where you gotta go. I feel the same way also from my own personal experience of going to the other side. That's what I think. I think I came here to love. When I, had my transitioning experience, I realized that I did not accomplish to the fullness what I wanted to do, loving the way that I knew that, the purity of love. I don't think that I had manifested that and done all what I was supposed to do concerning love. And because of that, and my willingness and my desire to come back to do what I was supposed to do in the first place, Most High sent me back. And guess what? Love story. All of these podcasts I've done, all I'm ever doing is talking about love, 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 love. So people will be like, oh, this girl's talking about love again. Well, that's why I came back. There was nothing else. Most High didn't send me back to anything else. Other things will come, I'm sure, but the main thing, the main thing, the absolute thing, the cake, the icing, and the cherry on top
Yeah.
is to talk about love, is to show love, to demonstrate love, to give love, and to receive love. I tell you, there is nothing more important than that. Absolutely nothing. No one is gonna get to the other side and say, oh, I wasn't rich enough, I wasn't this enough. Nothing matters. The only thing you're gonna be asked is, okay, how did you receive love? How did you give love? Did you receive love? Did you give love? How? To what capacity? That is what you yourself, as you yourself are gonna have that own thing come up within you. You're gonna realize, you're gonna literally weigh yourself against love.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Nothing else is on that scale except love. How do you weigh against love? Nothing else matters.
Yeah.
So we can spend our whole lives here toiling and crying and being, in these situations when all they're doing is distracting us and holding us back from loving.
Well, it's just superficial, right? They live in
Superficial.
a world, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I just tell the kids all the time, like you got to be there for each other. You got to love one another. You know, it's all, like you said, it's all about love. It's not
That's
about, I have friends that have beautiful homes and everything, but when you pass, when you transition, the kids are fighting over it, and that breaks up the family most times.
yeah.
Your stuff goes to Goodwill or it's on the side of the road, right? So what are you fighting for, right?
Yep.
Why are you spending so much time? Like when I used to sell life insurance, and I would be working sometimes from 8 o'clock at night till 1 o'clock in the morning, and I'd see my son in and out of the house. I said, I vow I won't do that anymore.
Facts.
I'm not doing that anymore.
Yep. Yep.
You know, I have to love my inner circle, my family, more than I love corporate Canada.
Facts. Facts. I went through the same thing. Everything has its place. You know what I mean? And I think it's beautiful, sis. Like you shared it. Love for God, love for yourself, love for your family. And that spreads out to who anybody who's willing to be family. Do you see what I'm saying? And even if someone is not, you don't have to wait for someone to love you first. Do you get what I'm saying? Like you are love. So you just be love. And if someone receives it, they receive it. If they don't, it doesn't take anything from you.
No. You know, what I've learned with my new beautiful man, Keith, is he told me that there will never be a time throughout the day that I will not know how much he loves me. And this man can tell me 5, 6, 7 times a day, and it doesn't get tired. And his family's the same way. Oh. And whereas when I was with Andre for 21 years, I can count on my one hand how often I heard the I use. And it's like, and you get accustomed to that way. Yes. Yes. Knowing, and I raised the kids in that way. But now, with meeting Keith, every time I speak to somebody, I love you. It doesn't matter if I've spoken to them for 6 months or if I see my kids all the time. I love you. I love you. I love you. Because I do not want them to ever not know.
Yeah.
What do they say about giving people their flowers? Well,
yes.
What's the point in saying on Facebook how much you love somebody and they're gone? Who are you talking to? So,
yeah, it's the corpse, right? The body, the person, right?
Read your message. So, you know, I learned through him to say it.
Yes.
Not be ashamed to say it or afraid to say it or afraid to be rejected.
Yes. Yes.
Because sometimes people are like, oh, if I say I love you and the person doesn't love me back. Well, you don't say it to get something
You're
back.
not exactly.
Stop doing things to receive something.
Yeah.
Do it because you authentically want to do it, whether it's helping a person or telling them you love them or just doing anything, not because you're waiting for a payout.
Yes.
Or something. Oh, you know, I've been doing all this for so and so, and nobody's done anything for me. Is that why you did it?
Exactly. Yep.
You're doing it for the wrong reason.
And that will show. That will show because somebody will outwardly seem so loving. And then they themselves, when they transition, the first thing they're going to say is, but I love so much and I gave so much and nobody gave back to me. And then their consciousness is going to be right there. Is that the reason? Right? Because love, you said it, love is not giving in order to receive. Love is just giving.
Yeah.
And the thing is that love is receiving also.
Yes.
So love is giving and love is receiving, but love is not giving to receive.
No, it's accepting.
It's
accepting because many of us don't want to accept it, the love that people want to give us. I mean, growing up, you know, you want the bad boy. You don't want the you, or you get somebody paying attention to you and you self-sabotage it.
That's right. That's right.
And, you know, and I've been victim to that, but I also had to catch myself.
Yes. 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 Yes.
Doing that.
I love it. I love it all. I want to see if there are any, well, there are more comments. Let's see. So I think Dwayne was commenting on the story of your late husband. He says all opportunities blocked for intervention. So happy you found, this is from Patricia, so happy you found love again. And it's because you were and are loving and loved. Yes.
Well, my grandchildren call me Lovey.
Lovey, I love it. And then I think speaking about your son, Patricia said, "Oh my goodness, miraculous." And sharing the love so genuinely beautiful. Dwayne says, "Facts, sis." And Patricia says, "Live in the now in love and more love." I hear you, sis. Yes, that
I'm
is so
I
beautiful.
do find now though I'm a bit impatient, and I often wonder, because I don't. There's one thing I never wanted to do was join groups of other widows or people
Right.
who have lost, because there's a terrible energy there. So I just can't help it. It's not the energy I wanted around,
No, right.
but I do often wonder, like, if, for people who have lost, like, I find more now that my time is so precious.
Yes, yes.
It's limited only because, we're not here forever, and I get a little anxious, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
need for, like, the children, everybody knows, like, if you need to give them something, or they need to understand something, it's so
yeah.
important that they get that message, right?
Yes, yes,
Because
yes.
they might believe that mom's going to be here forever,
Exactly, exactly.
forever in
Facts.
their hearts,
Yeah, forever.
you know. But it's like, and I think it's because I've lost that I am
You
so,
understand that. Yeah, facts. Yep. Mm-hmm.
and I just feel like there's just not enough time.
Yeah, yeah. Do
It,
it, do it now. You know what I mean? Love now, love hard, love without regret, love without the need for someone to love you back. Just love because you're being loved. Just be loved, you know? And I think that's a thing that I mean, that's something I saw very clearly, right? We actually are love. Love is the essence that all of us are made from. So as soon as we realize that the very thing we're seeking outside ourselves is our essence, all
Hillary,
of a sudden we can just be without that desire to pull from somebody. You get what I'm saying? We could just be. And if we're being and someone else is being, well, then there's just going to be so much love that we could just be in it, right?
because if you know that you're loved, you don't seek,
No.
for acceptance and love from someone else, like you
Yeah.
said.
Yeah.
Um, but I know I could be such a better person. And me and Taz used to have this go back and forth. Like, if I could be just a smidgen as close to the person that she was, and she goes, "Oh no," and then she put me on a pedestal. I'm like, "Oh my god, why? Where does she see?" But no, she was the most amazing. She was an example, like yourself, an example of love. I don't think there was a I mean, I think I saw her get upset or angry once, it's something about a situation. I used to be the one that would get all hyper and angry for her. Like, they shouldn't be doing that, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
she was just, oh my God, a walking angel, you
Yes.
know. I see that, I know that I was blessed to have her, that kind of a love friendship,
Mhm,
in my
mhm.
life, because I doubt I'd be able to find something like her, anyone like her. You know,
Yeah.
she
Yeah.
was an amazing woman.
She is one of a kind.
You're right. She is.
Yeah. She is one of a kind. Yeah, and it's coming around that time again, for my retreats that usually come up in the summer. And it's like, wow, it's so weird. It's so weird to not, because she was part of the retreat, the council,
Yeah.
and she was part of that, and she was there at, like, oh my gosh, she's 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 here, you know what I mean? But it's like, I've been thinking about her a lot, and it
Oh,
happens, right? When certain times come up, it's like, oh, right. Yeah.
oh yeah. Well, on my phone, your phone has a habit of reminding you of things when you're not ready. And beep, all
Yeah.
funny enough, all week, her face comes up on my phone,
See?
several times a day. And
Wow.
and I'll talk to her and whatever, and stuff. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, we shared a great friend. And I think it's beautiful, and I'm so grateful that she brought us together. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's one of those beautiful.
Oh, she tried. I kept canceling. Oh, I don't know. I'm not busy, or I couldn't afford to do something. Don't worry,
Yeah.
she said. You know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
she wanted us to meet so badly.
Yeah.
So and that was a gift of love from her.
It was. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
Oh, right. I sometimes I forget. I do have to. I know everyone's still around. They're just like through the drapes. I know that
Exactly.
they're. But
Yeah, yeah.
you got to remind yourself.
That's right. It's all good. It's okay. We have a few more comments here. I see Raw Homemade says, how awesome the topics and conversation tonight. I'm really taking with me the message, feel the pain in the present. I hope I haven't misquoted. It's good enough. And that other one, love is not given to receive. Wow, I'm watching this on repeat. These kinds of conversations truly feed the soul. It's 1:38 a.m. here in the UK, and I'm still glued to the screen. That says it all. Wow.
Uh,
Thank you both. Sending you lots of love. Wow. Thank you for staying with us. It's only 8:43 where we are.
yeah. Thank
Yeah,
you.
that is wonderful.
My
And
life is a story.
yeah,
That's uh, but we all have a
I'm
story.
sure everyone's gonna love hearing your story. And like I said, you're someone who has a whole lot to share. Now they know what I'm talking about when I said a whole lot of love, a whole lot of love, a whole lot of so much. But sis, I want to thank you for taking the time to come on here. And I know Spirit led you. You know what I mean? Spirit led you and guided you right here to share this love, so that both of us could share and reason and remember some things and just share the love with everyone. And hopefully, I know definitely there are things that we shared that will benefit people and help them to progress on their journey and to look at love maybe in a different way and to be inspired to give love and to receive love. And the best part is to give love without needing to receive, you know, because it's just so much better. It's so much sweeter when you receive something that you weren't even expecting. You know what I mean? It's
And
just so
don't
much better.
Yeah, and don't get crushed when you don't hear the I love you back.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not that. And like I said, I say to people, there was somebody I hadn't spoken to 20 years. They get up
Yeah.
to me, I'm like, I love you. And they're like, they didn't say nothing back. I know it kind of threw them off, it's all good,
Yeah.
but it's important.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean, and for the guys, it's okay to say it to men,
Yeah.
like Keith and all his friends. When I first met this man, all his friends, they opened their heart and loved me. His
Oh,
friends say,
I
I
love it.
love you, Kim, from
Oh.
the first time. I'm like, where am I? What is going on? Is this what country boys do? Because he's a country
Everybody's
boy, right?
loving.
He's a
Yeah,
country
yeah.
boy. I'm like,
Mhm.
what is going on? And you know what the most beautiful thing about this is? My oldest son. One day I was on the phone and I was FaceTiming Keith, and my son gets on there and he starts talking to him, and then he's leaving and my son tells him, I love you. And
Oh,
Keith tells him back, I love you too, bud. And I hang up and I'm like, yo, you haven't even met the man. He goes, Mom, I've never seen you happier. And, he loves you. And so I love him too.
that's right. That's it. That's it. That's it. Your son knows.
Yeah, he just wants, just
Hmm.
wants to be happy. He doesn't care about anything.
Yeah, that's it. He just wants his mother happy, and he knows our children know when we're actually genuinely happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, my sons, it was the same with my husband. The first thing it was just like, we've never seen you this happy, mom. Like you're so happy, and they want me to be happy. And he's amazing. He's perfect. Perfect for them, perfect for me. So it works out. I'm happy with this love story, and I know that we need wedding bells are ringing.
I
Soon,
know.
soon,
Talk about it all the time.
soon, soon, soon. I have to talk to you about something because I have a location that you might really love. So I
We
will
can,
let you, I'll tell you a little bit more about it, But sis, thank you again. And to everyone watching, thank you for staying with us, whether you're live with us or you're seeing the replay. Thank you so much. Please share the love. And if you would like to share your love story, then just let me know by emailing me at lovestory4yandea@gmail, and I will get in touch with you and we will figure out when to get you on here for you to share your love story. It's always good to talk about love. Listen, there are so many things going on in this world, and we are not sharing the love that we are feeling, that we want to express, that we are receiving. I just think that all of us could share a lot more love. You know what I mean? Love has happened in many ways in all of our lives, whether we've recognized it or not. And there's someone out there who your story, your life, your lessons, your journey will literally be a guiding light on their path. Okay, so never make small your love. Never think that whatever you've experienced is no good or it's not big enough to speak about. Get up there, shout it, right? Shout it from the rooftop, shout it from the mountain, let your voice be heard, share your love story. And Kim, stay tight. I'm gonna come off the live, but I gotta share some stuff with you. So guys, good night. I love you all, and we will see you again next Sunday. Look out for that video that I will be dropping on Tuesday, okay? Part of the Not Every Voice is God series.
oh.